Right, so let's begin to look at question 5. Question 5 says, John has T tapes and James has 10 tapes more than John. So express in terms of T, the number of tapes that James would have. Let's break apart this question, right? Pay attention. So it says John has T tapes. James, in this case, has 10 more than the amount of tapes John has. 10 more of T. So whatever T is, let's say it was 5. James will have 10 more than the 5. How would you write that? In this case, it would have been James is equal to 10 more than T. So you say 10 plus T. That's question 5. Question 6, because it's the same question tied on together. In this scenario now, question 6 says, John gives James 14 of his tapes. So now John that had just T is giving away 14 to James. So now James has twice as many tapes as John now has. Write an algebraic expression to represent the amount of tapes each person has. So let's break apart. So John previously was just T. But if John gives away, so gives away, loses away from the T that he had originally, he will be losing from the T, so he'll be subtracting. So we say John is now 10 minus 14. You understand? So that's the equation now for John. That's the equation now for John. What's the equation for James? Because it said for each person. Let's look at it. It says represent the amount for each person. So the equation for each person in this case would now be for James. And we say James would be, remember again, 10 more than the amount that John has. But it says as well, so let's write the 10 more. So whatever John has is going to be 10 plus T. Remember, that's the original equation. So 10 plus T was the original value for James. But in this scenario, it says now, James now has twice as many tapes as John now has. So how much does John now has? John now has T minus 14. It says twice as the amount James has. So let's look at this. Twice as James. That's essentially what it's saying. Twice as John, my bad. Twice as John. So in this case, John, we can just write back the formula because the formula represents the amount John has. So we say twice T minus 14. That's now the equation for James. Does everyone understand? Right? Right. Now let's move on now to question 7.